Craig stood out mainly through his sense of adventure.
Craig always stands out, incredibly bold and confident.
He takes risks and he puts new ideas out there. I think that is, to me, one of the aspects that makes Craig really unique. He's an innovative thinker.
Craig grew up in at least 8 places by the time he was 19. I think there was never any question that Craig or he and his brother would go to college, but his parents weren't in a position to be able to pay for his tuition. So Craig had to make it happen on his own. He had to work. One of the many ways that Craig supported himself through school was playing the flute on 6th Street in the evenings and on the weekends. And Craig did quite a lot of illustrations for the Daily Texan, which has a great reputation and started the careers of quite a lot of people.
I met him when he was in his 2nd year undergraduate, and Craig seemed to have the kind of talent you want for an architecture student, the ability to draw, think, mix scientific fact with artistic ambition and so forth.
In the late 1980s, we entered a design competition for a library in Alexandria, Egypt. We knew we had created something unique and something special, but we never really considered that we would win first prize.
The Alexandria Library in Egypt that they did is an extraordinary kind of masterpiece. I mean, not just a huge achievement, but how they did it and how sensitive they were and they have been to sustainability.
The name of our company is Snøhetta, which in Norwegian means snow cat. We started as a very small group of people, between 10 and 12 people, and today we're well over 200. We have 7 studios all over the world, and we've always had a UT intern in our studio, and we've hired quite a few.
It's so hard to explain some of their projects. Like, you have to see them to believe them a little bit, some of the projects. They're just otherworldly, you know.
The Hunt Library at North Carolina State University was the second library that we built.
Another project that made Snøhetta's reputation, of course, was the Norwegian National Opera and Ballet House in Oslo. You should note how this building is geological. It comes out of the bay, actually. People are able to walk right down to the water, and from the water walk on the roof of the building on top of the opera house.
He was doing all these really great projects, and I was blown away, just first as an architect and also just his human quality. You know, at that time, they were also working on the September 11th Memorial Museum here in New York.
It's very beautiful, and Craig's the architect to call if you have difficult meanings or difficult moments to try to evoke.
While we began our work at the World Trade Center in 2004, we got the commission for Times Square afterwards, and it was kind of a nightmare in its previous iteration. There, people were stepping into traffic, lights and signage made no sense, there was no place to sit.
What Snøhetta did for Times Square, in my opinion, was give that area tremendous amount of security while making it feel seamless with the city.
He was the architect that had done an addition for SF MoMA, the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art. And I was really impressed by that project, having walked through it.
I believe I met him when he was here in San Francisco doing the Museum of Modern Art. We were looking at a major remodel here at the French Laundry. When I met Craig and asked him if he would be interested in helping us redesign, reposition, reimagine the French Laundry, he immediately committed and said, we're on board. We set out to build the restaurant, which is in the same way that the Louvre represents history and represents modernism, the restaurant does the same.
I was very happy to be a very small part of the Blanton project, which involved redesigning the space between the 2 major Blanton buildings.
He's, just the right architect to do this for us because his own approach to the world, he's incredibly curious and he's willing to take a risk.
Our company has won a lot of awards over the years. The Texas Medal of Arts Award. We were awarded a National Design Award by the Smithsonian and Cooper Hewitt Museum.
No matter how successful Craig himself has become and Snøhetta has become more and more known, he always remains open and humble to help everyone across the board.
Close to 10 years ago now, we established a scholarship for the UT School of Architecture. And I think that's a very important way of giving back, of contributing to someone else's education, enabling students to stay in school and creating that future generation.
Craig's love of UT and his loyalty to UT is immense.
I think he's incredibly proud to have gone to the University of Texas. I think perhaps in many ways he probably found himself as an architect here on this campus.
We should just keep giving him awards because that's another reason he comes back.